Alright, everyone, we are back for the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, your chief host of the show, and joining us as always is none other than my wonderful co host, Avira.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's 2023. It's gonna be a good year. I know it.
It really is. We've made it this far, and oh my goodness, yes, we're in for another wild ride if the past years are anything to go by. So buckle up, because this train ain't slowing down.
Groovy.
All right. Now, joining us as always, our interim host, Noble.
Uh,
Mood. And joining us again this time, we have Ali.
Arf, arf. Oh, hello everyone. Bark, bark.
Good to have you here.
Hello.
All right. So, 2023. Who's ready for this wild ride?
Me.
Yeah. I'm glad that the world didn't end last year. That's good. It kind of just seems like a continuation of what's just been going on so far.
Like, it really has. Like, 2022 really did throw us a lot of sudden curveballs.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
everybody thought we were going to go to World War III, but instead we ended up loving the letter Z.
Yeah, it's been pretty bonkers.
I know. But it kind of is a bit more or less of the same as of the past 3 years. You know, COVID seems to just be in the background, not going away. And you're like, hey, I'm still here, I'm still relevant. Can you just engineer me a new variant so I can be relevant again?
Yeah, and I'm sure like the new variant is going to be something that sounds really super scary, like Ultra Omega 10 Delta, or just something crazy.
Yeah, I think they only have so many letters of the Greek alphabet to go through. Well, we can't say that one letter because it hits too close to home.
Right.
But yeah. But yes, what do we predict? What are we expecting to be in here for 2023? What's everyone expecting?
Every movie is going to be a sequel.
unfortunately,
That's what I'm thinking. And there's not going to be anything original. It's all
I
reboots and rehashes and all that.
personally, I believe everyone's just going to double down from the last couple of years. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg's probably going to drive his company into the ground.
It has like the fact of the matter is I've wanted to talk about it, but now even people are like using his fake VR world to make him happy.
Isn't the European Union suing him for 390 million euros because Metaverse was like stealing data from Facebook? I just saw that earlier. Yeah, he's
Still,
probably not in a good situation.
no, I think the situation that we're all overjoyed at is that his shit for Thingo's companies are collapsing.
I seriously wonder how much money they would have saved if they just bought Second Life and tried to migrate it to a new system.
I was just thinking that because, like, what is Metaverse if not just a crappier version of Second Life?
And and it can't even hold a candle to VR chat.
I don't know. That was weird. That was a weird investment.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the VR bandwagon was like what, 8 years ago, if anything at that.
Yeah, well, granted, I tried VR recently and it was pretty darn cool.
I would have thought you'd basically either just fall off the screen or something. Go tripping.
Oh, I totally almost tripped and fell like in my living room. It was terrifying. But it was fun playing around with it. Like I only tried it for like an hour, but it was okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can't like do like Oculus headsets because I get motion sickness.
Yeah, it was scary. Like it was so disorienting. The worst was walking towards the stairs because like I was standing there at the front of the steps looking down. I'm like, okay, there's a staircase in front of me. I know I'm on a flat plane in real life, but it looks like I was gonna walk down the stairs, and it was oh man, it was spooky.
Don't feel bad because my dumbass decided to drink alcohol and smoke pot before going on my cousin's Oculus. And oh boy, mixed with motion sickness, that did not turn out well.
Yeah, that sounds like a good decision. Oh no,
Yeah, very smart of me to do, huh?
goodness.
All right. So there may be a couple of things that you may have missed that we've got to get around to. But first, a bit of housekeeping. The Furry Raiders are officially also celebrating the 15th anniversary.
Woo!
And it's a
God,
new
I feel
era.
old.
A new era, a new world.
Check it out. So since 2007. Ah
Yeah.
man, this is so cool.
Oh, it's so amazing.
Oh, we should have provided some screenshots of Malmatopia. Oh, that's depressing.
No.
So this is 15th anniversary solar punk. Is that what it's called? Solar
It
punk?
is solar punk themed.
Ah, nice. So this is like the futuristic utopian world.
In a way, yes, it is a futuristic utopia, albeit arguably a lot more hopeful and greeny and colorful than cyberpunk.
Yeah, it's
In the
pretty.
past.
I like the hot air balloons in the background. Really cool touch.
Yeah, like it's a very unique depiction of solar punk, but granted, solar punk is in and of itself like the new upcoming, kid on the block. And still, there's still a lot of interpretation for solar punk, but I really dig this angle.
Yeah, it's a nice piece.
Yeah. But, look at that. We're just basically having a nice day out in the garden.
Yeah.
It's perfect. But it really does, like what solar punk really does stand for is, solar punk does put an emphasis on hopefulness. And I do again want to keep mentioning that 2022 was the year where it feels like hope has returned.
Yeah. Definitely.
Not just in the wider world, but in a way in the furry world.
Mhm.
So that's that.
What is your guys' favorite like detail about this piece? Like about this artwork?
Okay. I think it's really cute that Rose is just like pulling on Fox's tail. He's like popping out of the bushes and just like tagging on it. It's so cute. Like, what are you doing, man? Come on.
Yeah,
Like,
that
not
is.
check out Foster's digs. He's like, it's so
Oh, yeah.
befitting for a theme like this. He's like the futuristic style of supervillain.
I hate to think about the stitching on that thing. Oosh.
I like it. I like how we're like of how me and Jolt and Avira are just standing in front of the camera while Cody's about to take a picture. That's my favorite like
Mhm.
detail in the picture.
Oh yeah, Cody's a photographer. He does all kinds of recordings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's really
it
cute.
really worked for us to be all here lined up. It's 10 perfect detailing. Plus, just so for full disclosure, I actually chose the outfit for immersion reasons only to get into the solar punk world.
Yeah, I should have thought of that.
Yeah. Jolt helped me out with picking an outfit as well.
I look more like a scientist, like that's a lab coat or something.
Nah, it's a white suit.
Yeah.
And I know how lab coats work. I mean, I still have one in my wardrobe. Like, I haven't worn it in like 12 years, ever since my university days. So yeah, there it is. 15 years for the Fur Raiders, and many more to come.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, another thing that we may have missed, was the untimely and unfortunate passing of some really big names before 2023. You know, Pope Benedict.
Yeah. He was 95 years old at the time of his passing.
Hmm.
He was Pope for a while until 2013. He retired because he was, getting older. I remember being in Catholic school though when John Paul passed and then Benedict came in.
Yeah,
That was around the time during my confirmation, I think.
I was in around Catholic school at the time too, and then World Youth Day was basically around the corner in my neck of the woods in 2008, and then they announced that Pope Benedict announced it, and then you saw all these hundreds and thousands of Catholics come down to my neck of the woods for a pilgrimage. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah, wow.
it really did, and I still remember like my high school at the time was really we were really hosting some of the pilgrims too.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, it's not something I'm ever likely to forget anytime soon, but that's just kind of the thing that he left behind.
Yeah, well, may he rest in peace.
Yes, may he rest in peace.
Yes.
Yes. Now then, with all of that stuff out of the way, all the other little housekeeping and little tidbits, we are going to dive into the things that we have in 2023, which may very well set the trajectory for what will happen out in the wider world and the world will inhabit. And well, we might be scraping the lowest common denominator here. Check this out. Joker
No.
becomes pregnant in the new DC comic, and you'll never guess the father. Is this a sign of
Stop.
how weird 2023 is going to be?
Hang on,
Well-
hang on. Wasn't it 1994 where the Schwarzenegger was also in a movie where he was pregnant?
Right, you told me about that one, but isn't it like at the time, pregnant men were just basically like played for laughs?
Yep.
You would think like a few years ago this would be like a Babylon Bee article, but nah. No, it's like Maury, and you'll never guess who the father is. Stay tuned. What the hell is this?
Here I go. Here I go. I'm cringy. I'm
Boombox.
Here we
cringing.
go again.
Well, now I want to know who the father is. Now I'm curious.
I kind of want to shout out and say it's himself, but you never know.
My head hurts from this.
Oh goodness, what's happening?
It's crazy. It's like I don't even know if you can even get a Joker to depict this. Like of all the Jokers we've had, all the stuff in the past, Oh, actually, no, scratch that. I might have the Joker from Suicide Squad. Who was it? Jared Leto.
Oh, was Jared Leto? Is that his name?
Yeah, the frontman from 30 Seconds to Mars. I think.
Yeah, he had like metal teeth or something.
Right.
Yeah.
If
Whoever
anything,
that guy was.
yeah. But just to show you what it was, like here's the depiction of the new 2023 Joker.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Heath Ledger is still my Joker for the movie franchise.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I don't think I want to curse Heath Ledger's legacy to that.
No, I don't.
I can't look at this shit.
Look at the dialogue here. Well, what
Looks like
have we here? I think you're pregnant. I think you're right. Do we have a what? A good between what?
OB Gen
Whatever.
could use. What? And you know
I
what?
think you're right. Like, oh, what? Oh, this is a normal thing.
Like you look at this and you normally would think, oh, Joker's probably got a beer gut. And you'd be
Or
like,
he injected himself with an alien placenta in order to take over Guatemala because reasons.
right.
I don't know what the hell is this.
And you know what? It's so weird because like if you read
Oh, I'm
this bit
sorry.
here
This is about stealing their water supply. Okay.
in issue in one of the comics, one of the characters as Joker has a confrontation with, casts a spell in backwards to say, you know, no one else will ever have your baby. And
Oh, that's what that says. That's creepy.
yeah, that's just said that in backwards.
Yeah, on it's okay. Yeah, that's
Yes.
weird. Oh no! What is that? Okay. Nope.
I can't.
Nope. 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 Nope.
This doesn't look like Joker. I'm sorry, that does not look like Joker.
Oh goodness. For those of you who, thankfully, your eyes didn't have to see that. It was a really creepy looking version of
And it's
kind of
basically
Joker, kind of
that
fetus monster.
And it's also something that will get us very easily demonetized.
Yeah, was that a flamethrower in front of it? Like, were they about to burn
If
it?
it were, I mean,
That's what it looked like, and I don't blame them.
I'm gonna have to schedule an appointment with my therapist Monday.
Seriously, was that what that was?
Of flamethrowers, you may as well bring out. Yes.
No, please. What the heck is happening? There's no way 2023 is gonna start out that crazy already.
I mean, the fact that it had to be asked as a headline to that is just. It really kind of sets the mood, sets the trajectory for what we can expect this year.
Oh boy.
And. Yeah. Right? Like, why?
Yeah.
I guess you just have to wonder, like, who's it for? Like, who actually wants to read this? And they're like, yeah, cool, the new comic of the Joker. Like, this sounds like a good thing to be a fan of. Like, who actually cares about this kind of stuff?
Vera, this is pre-Musk taking over Twitter. That's where it all comes from.
Okay, but who? Okay. I guess. But still, who actually cares about it?
I mean, whoever wants to read that shit, to each of their own, but damn.
Yeah, so 2023 is probably just going to be a year of reboots, new hashes, things, and
I think a total level of creative bankruptcy that we have not seen for quite some time.
I don't know. Getting the Joker pregnant is pretty creative. It's just disturbing. I don't know.
In its own way, and of all the ways, you know, the Joker had to have gone pregnant from a spell.
Yeah, magic.
All of a sudden, and then he gets, you know, like in the last comment, it's a fetus monster comes out.
Burn
like,
it.
like I said, I'm gonna have an interesting conversation with my therapist Monday. Shit.
Well, there was that.
Yeah, and
Thank
but luckily, if it really, I don't want to jinx it, but at the very least, I hope this abomination does not come to fruition into the lights of the big screen.
oh goodness no.
Right now,
Nope. Nope.
not even the current depiction of the Joker, Phoenix. I don't know. Like, imagine if you're basically the man on cast to play as the Joker. You're currently Phoenix, who played the 2019 Joker, and that was basically on the script.
Boy. Well, I guess if he's obligated to a contract, but that'd be embarrassing. Like, I wouldn't want to do that.
Right, you just basically take it up with with the screenwriters and say, "What is this?"
Yeah, what the heck?
He'll just quit on the spot. Shit.
Well, at least there's some good news because there are actors in movies who are playing these roles and they're just turning around and saying, I'm not doing that again. Change my character back to how it's supposed to be. Otherwise, I'm not going to be in the movie again.
Right.
Which makes you wonder if the whole Marvel universe is going to get rebooted.
Well, there's more that we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. So that's a really good point. It's a really good segue to it. But yeah, like, imagine that, And speaking of Joker and previous Jokers, with the 2019 Joker, you know how that movie went. It was basically, we live in a society, the movie. And I guess, and I guess this rendition would be just like that. That plus more. Like, we live in Bizarro world.
Pretty much.
Ooh, interesting live question from Joseph. Who was better, Heath Ledger Joker or Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
Hmm. I think Heath Ledger. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's really, you just can't. Like, he's really
But
hard.
they're so different though. Like their whole performances and like the way they take on the character. Like it's hard to compare them exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ledger nailed it.
Big time. Don't get me wrong, Phoenix was great. I loved his depiction of the Joker in 2019's Joker. It's great. Like, he really pulled it off. But yeah. Now, but you're right. Like, to get to the whole point of why the characters have ruined, like like Noble was saying, I guess you just have to take a look at what's happening with other stuff too. Like, I think I want a question to ask you guys. What will 2023 bring to TV series?
Well, that's the difficult thing nowadays because a lot of streaming services are having their exclusive content. Not everyone's able to afford to have like 4 or 5 of them and pay for it per month.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at getting YouTube Premium recently, and the representative I was texting on the support page told me that, oh, sorry, but we don't have annual subscriptions for Australia yet. And I'm like, oh, fuck that. Just close the chat. I mean, the issue is that while these shows may exist, it's just not really accessible to the broader public, unlike it was with television. So you'll have a lot of TV shows and stuff people could be watching. It's just they're not watching it.
Let's say if there's only like 1 or 2 TV shows that you actually want to watch, but the only way to see them is if you have like a monthly subscription to like an entire channel. but that's the only one thing you watch. It's like TV, but more expensive.
Actually, it's like pay television or satellite, just 10
Yeah,
times
only
worse.
instead of paying for cable where you get like 100 channels, you're paying for the individual channel, which is kind of weird if you think about it. Like, who pays for the Disney Channel? I guess you do if it's online, right? Like, it's weird. But that's pretty much 2023 right now. Like, the streaming services are just taking over.
I think
2020 helped a lot with that.
it's like everybody's trying to go on and like they all want a piece of the whole streaming service pie, you know? That's the reason why we can't get Halo TV series on Netflix and Hulu as much as we wanted to.
Oh, man.
It's going to have to get to a point where one company or two companies are going to have to set themselves up in each region and then just buy the rights to materials to be able to show them.
So, like, TV, basically,
Yeah.
like a TV station that owns
by all
multiple
means,
channels.
have a subscription service, but have one where people can go to, pay for that, get access to everything. And then TV shows that do really popular by the grand, by everybody gets more money, while the really shitty ones basically just wither and die like they should.
That sounds like a monopoly, because right now we have different companies competing. Like, Disney has the rights to certain movies that they're not going to allow things like Paramount Plus to have their content on there, because they would be making money off of their IP.
But see,
like,
that's
you know what I mean?
competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where instead of having one media company like that already exists, have a new thing, something like how television would work, where it's an entirely separate entity. They don't make any of their stuff, kind of like what Netflix used to do. That way, that company isn't in competition by making their own stuff. They just supply everybody with everything, because at this point it's just too saturated and it's not helping businesses as it is. It's just making things 10 times worse. That's why satellite TV was bad.
Suppose for its time, but yeah. Side note, to continue on this whole thing that what we're expecting of the create, in the entertainment popular media sector. Here's another one for you that may or may not that we might be expecting, which is just a rumor at this stage, but yeah. Harry Potter reboot on the way with a new cast.
Wow. Now, some people are saying that this is too early to do this, because they already have the Fantastic Beasts movies out. Mind you, the Harry Potter movies came out over 20 years ago. Crazy to think about, right?
Yes.
But why do you think they would be redoing this?
Is it because there have been? I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the rumor mill that's been saying, like, some people were basically doing this out of spite and dissatisfaction of the opinions of the author herself, J.K. Rowling. Right.
But she still technically owns all the rights to this IP, right? Like, it's not like other companies can use her characters.
Yeah, well, it's her baby.
Right, but it's also like her property, so people can't just steal it and change it and do that, right?
Do that for a profit. Otherwise, that's basically you get sued.
I imagine if they're going to reboot this, it probably has her support, right?
She'd have to have her approval.
Yeah, it would have to
be. Not necessarily. What's going to matter legally is whether or not J.K. Rowling possesses the rights to the movies. Because if she doesn't, then any new movies can just be made willy-nilly.
Oh, that's true. That's like what happened with Rings of Power. They didn't technically have the rights to certain material, so they just made crap up. And you know what is really salty too? Remember, I think this was either last year or the year before. They had like the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter, and they didn't invite J.K. Rowling to it. Like that whole reunion, like she wasn't allowed to be there. That was messed up.
So they just got all the stars, but all the thingos.
Yeah, she was like not allowed to be there because of like some Twitter controversy or some stupid shit.
Yeah, that was really fucked up. Like, I don't like how people hold grudges just because someone said their own opinions on something on Twitter. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And especially because she's like a celebrity, and has to like, you know, she talks to millions of people, right? They all look up to her, and God forbid she says something. I don't know.
Yeah, jeez, it's like
But yeah, like the creator of Harry Potter wasn't allowed to go to her own freaking like 20-year reunion from all the movies. Like that's messed up, man.
See, this is why I like. Is it Chris Hemsworth, the guy who did Star Lord and the new Jurassic World movies? His approach to the whole thing was basically to keep his mouth shut about stuff like this.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah, but now when you think about rebooting the Harry Potter series, what do you possibly mean? Like, is it create a new series, or do they try and redo the first series of movies for a whole new generation, like from the books?
Well, from what it seems like, at least from the article, that they're going to be recasting Ron,
Yeah,
Hermione,
Harry.
and Harry. So they're going to be doing the same three characters. I imagine they're probably going to be using the same story, but I mean, I don't know. Like, are they going to change it like crazy or just redo it? But with
Wokeism.
I don't. Why would they do this? Like I don't know.
Well, it's to make money. I mean, look at the Spider-Man franchise. Like
Okay,
it's
yeah. You know
seriously
what? Good point.
oversaturated.
You're right. That's a good point. How many different origin stories does Spider-Man have at this point? Like 5, 6? Okay, fair enough. They're gonna make Dobby transgender. I know it.
They're going to make Harry Potter fat, like what was it? The Simpsons called him Harry Plopper, except he's a pig.
Right. Yeah, and Voldemort is gonna be the sympathetic villain that he's actually been good-hearted all along. You know, like the Grinch or something. Sure, why not? No, I don't know how they're gonna reboot this, or even if they're going to. But if they did, I'm sure there's some stuff they could probably add in to make it like hopefully a better series. You know?
We'll see. I mean, if they do reboot the books for the past generation, they've got that to work with. It's the foundation is already there. It's just yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see nearly headless Nick's Halloween like death day party.
Mm.
That was a really cool scene from the book. I wish they had that in the movies, man. Oh, that'd have been so awesome. I remember playing like the Harry Potter games, like you would play like at the creepy like ghost party. Yeah, that's just one thing that comes to mind. If they were to like remake the series, maybe they'll add some scenes or something that they didn't in the movies.
Hmm. They
Yeah,
might
I don't know.
say the dialogue lines too. Another live comment, goes of saying, "Are they gonna say something different than you're a wizard, Harry?"
Oh, yeah. What would they say? Harry.
Oh, oh, oh! Maybe they'll change it to witch.
No. You're a warlock or you're a sorcerer.
Sorceress,
You're a
sorceress, sorceress. I mean, it's
no.
supposed to be
Stop.
woke.
Or or you're Wixard. No. Okay.
But Alas,
I
though,
don't
but
know.
it's Harry Potter. You can't get around with this without without ribbing on Harry Potter in some way or capacity or another. But I guess, yeah.
I really don't think it should be rebooted. Yes. The movies that, at least like growing up, that I've seen, I think they still hold up pretty darn well today.
Oh, but they're not woke enough.
They're fine. They're fine the way they are. Don't break it.
I mean, the only thing, if if anything, is just a high definition recasting, so that's just not, you know, not as grainy as with all those years ago. But either way, like, the only thing is, though, they're saying that they have a time frame of like 3 to 5 years, give or take.
Oh yeah, about that. Are they going to do like every movie, like all 7 or 8 of them? It's going to take more than 3 to 5 years.
Well, yeah, that would take a lot more than 3 to 5 years.
With woke actors, wouldn't it take something like 3 to 4 times as long to film each scene?
Yeah, you're probably right. Everything's getting all delayed.
But yeah, but but you're right though. Like, what does this really, speak to you as? Like, if everything is gonna be like a new series, a new season, or gets rebooted,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
it's just basically indicative of a bigger trend, right? Like, everything is just gonna be milked. Like, what do you
well
think?
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of potential here. And I don't mean like for the original 3 characters. Like, no, they could do like other stories too. Like the Marauders. Like, how did they create the legendary map and like the first Wizarding War? Like, what was that all about? I don't know. Or even like the founders of Hogwarts, like how they created the school. Maybe
Right.
there's some fun stuff with that they could do. There's all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
Like, they could make a whole new series of subplots and so forth, and auxiliary material.
Yeah.
Right, like, kind of like, Lord of the Rings had all that stuff, but Amazon chose to go the whole, Second Age route stuff. And,
I
that
don't.
side of the thing. But this isn't the time to talk about Lord of the Rings, because
I know it
it's a
hurts. Ugh.
bit... I know. And the fact that they had made all these controversial casting decisions going into the next season, yikes.
Oh boy. Oh no.
I have a question for you guys though. What
Yeah.
Harry Potter house are y'all? I'm
Yeah, like, I have a question here. Do you guys know what
That
houses you are in?
that's a good question. Oh yeah.
All right, let's start. What about you, Evira?
Oh, Ravenclaw. Definitely. Yeah, blue and bronze, baby.
I'm Ravenclaw as well.
Nice.
No.
Personally, I don't mind watching the movies, but that's as far as I'll take it once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what what Hogwarts house are you?
Like I said, I just watch the movies once. That's it. I'm not.
Okay, so you don't like get the okay.
Yeah. It's like with My Little Pony. I watch the TV show and maybe the movies when they come out once, but that's basically it. I'm not really knee deep in sort of going nuts with it.
Well, I'm getting
Like
Hufflepuff
Pokemon.
vibes. Even your icon is looking like
Green.
yeah, I can see Hufflepuff.
Green, grey, and black.
Well, no, that's like Badger colors, like white and black.
Yeah, white and black are badger colors. White and black are, colors of a lot of animals. Border collie,
Zebras.
husky.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting thought. Kiona says, I expected Ali to be Hufflepuff. You know what? I actually share the same sentiment.
Oh, really?
You guys
Yeah.
think I'm Hufflepuff?
Well,
Yeah,
you are very
I
loyal.
do believe you have Hufflepuff vibes.
I mean, yeah, I like. The thing is, like, I'm really sweet most of the time, but sometimes I could be a total bitch too. That's why I say Ravenclaw.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, Jolt, I'm gonna guess you're more of a Gryffindor.
Who knows? Like I haven't
Did you
I
take
haven't
the Harry
gone through
Potter
that one.
test, like the quiz?
I mean, I'm all thoughts. I could probably end up being either a Gryffindor or a Ravenclaw, knowing that I've been kind of like known as like I kind of was like one of the smarter kids in school. That was pretty
That
much
to
my
be
defining.
Ravenclaw! Yay! Ah, that's
That
the
would
best
be my
house.
defining archetype, if nothing else.
Cool.
Yeah, but you're right. I would probably be the Ravenclaw more than anything else.
Yeah, and plus blue is close to purple.
I guess so. That's something that's interesting though. When you read like the books or the movies, they always show like in the Great Hall an even number of students per house.
Hmm.
But is that really the case? Like if you look up at like like most people in general, like if you were to survey 1,000 people, do you think it would be an even split, like 25% each, or do you think more people would choose Gryffindor or Slytherin or something? I don't know. That's just some Harry Potter theory that I thought of that I haven't really seen anyone else talk about.
No.
Maybe I'm just a nerd and I'm getting too deep into it.
I don't know.
That's probably the case. Never mind me.
I think I just basically would assign people based on their, defining archetypal traits, personalities, and what have you.
No, yeah, exactly. Like that's what the Sorting Hat does. But like, what if there just happens to be, I don't know, 1 year out of 100 students, like 90 of them all go to Hufflepuff or something, and it's like, oh well, only 10 of them are left, and the rest of them go to like whatever houses. But like, right? Like, wouldn't there be cases like that? I don't know.
It's a bit meta at the moment,
Yeah, whatever.
but anyway. But yeah, but I believe that's just kind of the direction the thing is heading at the moment with the in the field of entertainment.
Well, yeah, there is also a new reboot happening as well, which we did talk about. And it's another Netflix series, Avatar. I believe that's coming out this year in
The
2023.
last Airbender.
Yeah, the Netflix series. It's like a live action. They're doing a lot of new live action stuff.
Yeah, it's like it
But
seems
again, it's all reboots. Like it's all like nostalgia properties that they're just rehashing to make it like just for money, I guess. But like no one has original ideas anymore.
and if they are, it's just considered. Oh, it's too risky. No, it's too thingo. Oh, it's too whatever. But but I think it's kind of the same thing. Like you can see that this may just spill over into things like the video game industry. What do you think may just happen in the field of games too? It's another big question I want to ask you guys. I know none of you guys, you're not really like big gamer types, right? But
No, but I'm still looking forward to Spyro 4. I mean, I know it's another sequel, but come on, like this has been a
right,
thing
but
for the
because
last year on Twitter. We've been talking about this.
I
yeah,
miss. Sorry, go on.
it's like Spyro, Crash. If they resurrected Crash Bandicoot and gave him a number 4, then could possibly happen to Spyro.
Yeah.
So hey, yeah. Anyway, you were about to say something, Ali?
Yeah, I was saying, like, speaking of video games, I really miss playing Second Life and VR chat, the PC version. Um, like, yeah, I can't play it at the moment because I don't have a PC right now. Mine broke down, like, months ago.
Are they making any like new things this year for Second Life, or is it or no?
No, I
Second
don't.
Life hasn't really changed. Actually, it's still just running as it always has been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's no expansions or anything, upgrades,
No,
and
there's
No, it's just the,
didn't
you
it's
make
think
just
your own
so.
fully
expansion.
it's just
Yeah, I
fully
didn't think
run
so.
by the community.
Okay.
So the way it basically works is that you've got
Mhm.
the main sims that are owned by the Linden Labs itself, and then other people come in, they buy a sim, they set it up however they want, do whatever they want to it, have it private, have it public, have a club or whatever, and theme park or whatever they want, and you just go there. That's it.
Yeah. Like, I remember watching ads for, like, Second Life whenever I was a kid, but I never got around to it until late 2021, whenever Foxler introduced me to Second Life.
Nice.
Yeah.
It seems to be a really interesting all sort of things for the in the game world for 2023. But the same token, all the all the big events and announcements just seem to happen towards the back end of the year. So, but again, I think another thing that we've just found is that apparently there's now not, people are saying that the supply crisis for the PlayStation 5 is finished, and it took 2 years to sort out.
So that means you can get a PS5 now with no hassle?
I like to think that's the case.
Oh,
Yeah, but even
wow,
then, you
that
got to ask yourself the question, is it worth it, and is the value proposition, you know, again, a good prospect where you can like get a Nintendo Switch or otherwise for it, or a PC even.
Well,
yeah.
it really falls down to the games you want to play. I mean, I understand how some people get all sort of antsy about buying like the console, but if that console only has a portion or only some of the games that you actually want to play, while the others have the more plus. That's the really thing that bothers me when it comes to people buying consoles. They don't consider the games they want to play.
I mean, back then it used to be like the games that people wanted to play were the main draw of consoles. Like, think of the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era, and to a lesser extent PS3, right?
Well, yeah, because in those days, video game characters were essentially mascots for the console. Like you
And
would get the
yeah,
the console and play like that series.
and everything was running on bespoke gear and stuff, and they just be lapped up by whichever studio picked them up.
I mean, what would Nintendo be without Mario? Come on now.
Right?
Or
Yeah. Same thing with
Zelda,
like
you know?
Pokemon or
Sonic for
Yeah,
Sega.
of course.
I was it Halo? No, sorry, Xbox. Wasn't Xbox originally having Winx the Cat?
yes,
And
because they
unfortunately, it got
thought
to be Halo.
Master Chief was going to be too violent of a thingo.
Whoops.
But no, it's all up. Wasn't too bad of a thing, but again, like, what do you think? Is this going to be a bit more of kind of the same thing? Like, are we going to see more upscaling and porting upwards? PS4 going to PS5,
No, the
sort of thing.
problem is that a lot of people still like to play a lot of the older games.
Yeah.
So it means that you have to have developers working on both porting old games and also making new ones. It's just too much. It's going to have to get to a point in the industry where you'll have people who solely do nothing but port old games to new hardware, and people who just develop,
hmm
the next gen gaming experience. But I do question whether or not some manufacturers might start turning around and saying, "Well, let's just let's just add in the hardware to make it compatible, like what they did with the original PlayStation 3, where it had a PlayStation 2 chip in it that could play original PlayStation games potentially, and also the PlayStation 2. So it's
Mhm.
going to add more expense to the actual hardware because you're putting more in there, but still, it's
Yeah, but backwards
so
compatibility would
popular.
mean that people would buy more games, though, or at least use
Yeah,
their old ones.
it's like that's the thing.
I have to wonder what would happen if the Nintendo Corporation turned around and started selling the original Game Boy and Game Boy Color cartridges again.
That would that would people make disincentivize people from wanting emulators.
Oh, well, it would take away the necessity for it to
Mhm.
a point, but still being able to play it on something like a phone or a computer would. Well, you can actually do that with a computer. There are some external devices that you can
Oh
connect up
yeah,
and just run through an
oh
emulator.
yeah. But now the hardware's fine, so I think we're still years away from another console generation. But either way, maybe I don't know about Nintendo though. Like, you reckon the Switch is getting a bit long in the tooth?
Yeah, we've had a revision of it recently, and I wasn't really impressed with it. My
Mm.
assumption is maybe another 2, maybe 3 years at the most, and a next generation console for Nintendo will come out. I'm not too sure about the PlayStation or the Xbox, or whether or not some other company will try to muscle in on the
I
gaming
mean, now
experience.
we've got things, the Steam Deck, and all the other little, big tech console startups have just gone to shit. Google Stadia failed.
Yeah, that was epic.
So honestly, like, if you want to try to do that stuff, I guess, leave it to the big boys or try your luck in the VR segment. Or again, yeah, come up with something new. But yes, but yeah.
I wonder
Anyway,
when
apart from that
what you
though,
think
just
PlayStation 6 is going to come out.
I know.
Maybe they'll just switch to the PlayStation X.
Yeah, right. PlayStation Gamma or
I mean,
something crazy.
pull a bloody Apple. No, sorry, that was a Microsoft. A Microsoft.
The Microsoft. I
Well,
wonder
they
what the
skipped
next
over
Xbox is gonna be
Windows.
called, because they have like the most inconsistent naming scheme.
Yeah, the Xbox One, it was like, what is that? The seventh generation or something?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we have the series. We had the one, we had the 360, and then we had the OG Xbox.
How about Xbox Infinity? That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, Xbox Beyond.
Yeah, oh yeah, Beyond.
Oh, crying out loud, Beyond.
Yeah, they're gonna start running out of things to name them.
Hmm. I mean, at least PlayStation keeps a consistent scheming. Nintendo is, if I'm honest, Nintendo seems to be the one that's just breaking out, breaking the mold in terms of their hardware.
Well,
Yeah.
Nintendo themselves seem to have stuck to their idea about doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the portable console, it's basically looks like they've turned around and said, we're not going to do any fixed consoles anymore. We're just going to go completely portable.
Yeah. But but the other thing is though, we have a thing like the Steam Deck. And now that may be a very possible way for someone like Avira to get onto Steam.
Yeah, that
It's like we said, we
definitely.
covered it a couple years ago. It's basically, a Nintendo Switch sized pocket PC where you can play all your Steam games on.
Man, the amount of Steam consoles I've seen have been psychotic. They've really been trying to punch into the portable market for a while now, but it took Nintendo to literally do their own thing for the Steam Deck to take off. It's bloody hilarious. Oh, and don't forget, there are also third-party consoles that are Steam Deck compatible.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we just maybe the the PC stuff, peripherals makers will basically jump in on that too. So, but yeah, but I think that's pretty much it though. Is there any other, just to round this out, is there any other prediction you want to throw in for 2023? Just before we round out the show.
I believe the bar's going to be lowered again. It just has to be with everything that's been going on in the last 2 years with just the communities in general.
When do you think they're going to scrape the bottom of the barrel?
Well, it turns out that murder isn't exactly beyond most people's thoughts.
Right.
So I sort of blame Game of Thrones in that for bringing up people's violent tendencies and finding it acceptable. But we'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Joel, bottom of the barrel. Okay, 2 words: pregnant Joker. Like the
That's
hell.
the bottom of the
Alright.
barrel.
We're already there. It's messed up already, my dude. We gotta just get out of this bonkers nonsense.
Stop! I'm in denial of this existing.
My God, like what timeline? Oh man, I hope this year turns out okay. I don't know, man. Let's hope. That's all.
Now we need something to uncurse this thing, a timeline already.
Please.
Actually, I should just put a new overlay on it. I'll come back to you next episode with a new overlay for it in a caption. But yes. So, anything else you'd like to add? Closing statement. Ali?
No, I really don't have any thoughts on the topics.
Or or any predictions for 2023?
Oh, no, I really don't have any thoughts. There's some things that I'm hoping for in 2023, but don't want to go into detail. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I suppose we'll soon stick around and find out. All right. But I think I reckon that's pretty much what it is for this week. Kind of nice to start. I suppose it was a way to ease it in this year, but not with what we, got landed on our plates, right? Oh well.
Yeah,
But
looking
I
pretty
guess
fun.
sometimes you just, you sort of take what you get. But as always, like you all, I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did making it. As always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. This is season 6 of the Raiders Rambles. We've made it this far in the world.
Woo!
More
Yeah.
to come. We ain't going nowhere. And this is us signing off for a week. Farewell. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye everyone.